Today is September's monthly reset, and I know it's a little late, but I've just been thinking about what I want for the next couple of months and where I want to put my energy in. So I am doing this a little bit different just because it is the start of fall, even though here in Texas it is still pretty hot. I like to think of September 1st as the start of fall. So I am going to share some things that I'm looking forward to for the month of September and go over my previous habits and new habits. Let's go over August habits. I will put a picture right here. That way you can follow along to see like what habits I had. Last month, I had a daily habit of daily movement. And as you can see here, I did pretty well. So overall, I think I only had like 7 days where I didn't do any kind of movement, which is pretty good, you know, in comparison to 31 days, right? So 7 out of the 31 days not having movement and the rest of the days having movement was really good. I really wanted to push myself. And then the next one was 7 to 8K steps daily. That one as well, I feel like I did really good. I think there was like 12 days where I didn't do this. So more than half of the days I reached 7K steps. So that is really good. Journaling was the same thing. 6 out of the 31 days I didn't journal, but the rest of the days I did. My screen time, I was pretty surprised too that I was able to keep my screen time to 5 hours or less. I was pretty proud of that. I'm going to show you right now my screen time. That way you guys can actually see it in real time. But yeah, so my screen time, if you can see that. So my average week was 5 hours and 7 minutes, which I think it's so good compared to having, I think my average was 7 hours before. So I'm really proud of myself for sticking to my screen time being less than 5 hours on most days. And then fiction reading, there was only one day that I didn't read, and it was probably just because we got home late or I forgot or just wasn't feeling like reading that day, but that there was only one day. And then intentional self-care. So intentional self-care, this was just like if I wanted to sleep in or if I wanted to play a game with my husband or if I wanted to eat out or if I wanted, so it's basically just like caring for myself, things that I needed that day, whether that is not walking that day because I really just didn't want to do movement, right? Like those were some of the things that I put in intentional self-care, or like going to bed early. Those were the things. So overall, there was only 4 days where I didn't do intentional self-care, which I think that's really good. And then nightly kitchen cleanup. I think I did over more than half of the days where I was able to just clean up the kitchen. On the days that I didn't do it, it was because either my partner did it for us, or honestly, we were just so busy that we just went to bed. And then wake up before 7 a.m. That was such a big goal for me because I've been struggling over the summer to wake up early. I like waking up early so that I could have more time for my day. And so it was great that I was able to do this again more than half of the time, where I was able to wake up before 7 a.m. and then in bed by 9 p.m. There was 10 days that I didn't go to bed by 9 p.m. And honestly, it wasn't even like I went to bed late. It was probably like 9:10, 9:30 where I would go to bed, or like I would give myself 30 extra minutes. Still good. Now the thing where I didn't do the best, but this was also, August was my birthday month, and I also went to Vegas, and so there was just a lot of trips that this month, or a lot of things like outside of my control, or things that I just wanted to like enjoy in the month of August. Like I spent time with both like 2 friends, like going out to the movies, I got some gelato, like, so again, it was such a great month to celebrate me and my birth, but not so much in terms of my nutrition plan. So I'm okay with this. Like I knew that this month was going to be a little bit more difficult, but overall, half of the time I was able to stick to my nutritional plan. So my calorie deficit. But yeah, now as far as like my weekly habits, uploading a YouTube video once a week, I think I only didn't upload last week. So I'm sorry for you. I didn't upload last week. I was hoping to get my September monthly reset uploaded, but I didn't. I just really needed that week off. And then Instagram free Saturdays. So again, really didn't do really that well on those. There was the first 2 weeks I did really great. And then the last 3 weeks didn't do so well. And then weekly walks with my husband, same thing. 1 week I was on my period, and the other, honestly, I just woke up late and I needed to rest because I wasn't getting a good enough sleep. I was sleeping on time, but I just wasn't getting restful sleep. And then my monthly habit, spending time with friends, did that. So overall, I feel like I did such a great job. And as far as like, I asked you guys what would be a reward for myself if I did really well, which I do think that I could do better. So I don't think this month I will give myself a reward because I really want to challenge myself to try to get some of these categories a little bit more like green. Like I could see that there is a lot of room for improvement, but overall I think I did really great. But again, don't compare yourself if like yours looks more red than mine. Like it's okay. It's just like sometimes habits like fall. It's not about being 100% all the time. It's about trying to reach between that 70 to 80% of the time you're doing healthy habits. So that is what I have for the month of August as far as habits. Really excited for, like I said, the fall. It's something that I'm going to do different for the fall season is I want to challenge myself to do my own version of 75 soft. And so if you are watching this, you're listening and you want to do it with me, I will be starting this version of 75 soft starting September 9th. So I'm giving myself this week of the first week of September just to prep. So you'll be watching this on Thursday, the 5th. So you could use the rest of the days to prep, to figure out what workouts you're going to do, things like that. So let me share my version. It is going to be a little bit more challenging just because when I was looking at the 75 soft, it wasn't too challenging for me. And then when I was looking at 75 hard, it was very challenging. Like no one's going to work out for two 45-minute workouts. One has to be outside. Like that just feels unrealistic and not good for your body. So I decided to do my own version of 75 soft, and that will be starting September 9th all the way to November 23rd. So that's 75 days, and it's right before the Thanksgiving week. So I think that's perfect because then it's easier for me to control it right now than when I'm in the holidays, which I know it's going to be a little bit difficult. I have weddings, I have like things going on, like seeing family, and I don't want to restrict myself in those months just for the sake of doing a 75 challenge. So for the next 75 days, this is where I'll be committing in terms of habits. I'm going to maintain my nutritional plan. And again, for me, that is like focusing on weight loss, and that is focusing on a calorie deficit. If this doesn't apply to you, if you want to change it to a different kind of plan, so whatever your nutritional plan is, that's whether that is I want to eat at home like 5 days out of the week, whatever that is, what's the thing that's going to challenge you to the next step, right? So let's just say you already eat at home 4 days out of the week. Then you want to challenge yourself for 5 days. So things like that it could be helpful for you just to give yourself a little bit more of a push for the next 75 days. So for me, it's maintain my nutritional plan. The second habit is daily movement. So this is going to be the same. I didn't put like 45-minute workouts because for me, I already know that 30-minute workouts is what works best for me and my body. But I do want to be able to be more mindful of doing movement every day. So that is walks, yoga. What I ended up doing is I did this little chart of the workouts that I'm going to do. So this kind of tells you I made it like themes. So on Mondays, I'm doing strength training. On Tuesdays, I'm doing walks and yoga. And then on Wednesdays, I'm doing my Pilates class. And then Thursdays, just walking yoga. And then Fridays, I think I have strength training. So I'll put it right here and I'll share a copy of it as well. That way, if you guys want to use the template to make your own, you can. But this is just so you can kind of print it out and know what you're going to be focusing on. Because if you don't have access to someone like making the workouts for you, you can always decide like on Tuesdays, I'm going to do a YouTube video workout or I'm going to dance for 30 minutes. So just having some type of plan or movement, because I realize if we don't plan things, they're less likely to be done. So that is why I made this routine for myself for the next month, and then I'll be doing it for October, November, up until I finish the 75 days. Now, the next one is 7K steps daily. I've already gauged that it's possible for me to do this. I do have to push myself a little bit more, but 7K is big enough of a push that is not too overwhelming. Again, you decide for your 75 soft how many steps that's going to be. That might be 3K steps, it might be 4K. I started at like 2K steps and then worked my way all the way up to 6. And now I'm kind of teetering between the 6 and the 8 mark. Just depends on the day. But I know that if I'm intentional, I can get those 7K steps easily. Now, the next part of my 75 soft is screen time less than 5 hours. Again, I tested this out in August when it was a busy month. And so now I know that I can definitely get this done if I'm more intentional about using my screen time. And I use this app called Jomo that allows me to block out certain apps at certain times and just be more intentional. Then I want to drink 3 liters of water, which I think it's about the equivalent of like 3 Stanleys. So that's what I'm going to use to measure that. And then I want to read every day. So I do have my fall TBR, which I'll tell you guys what the books that I'm super excited about reading for the fall time. And so that's going to really be helpful. Again, I have a plan for what books I'm going to read, so I don't have to be deciding what books I'm going to read. I just as soon as I finish one, I get the other one. I go to the next one. And then no drinking unless socially. So that's another habit. And then journaling, which is something that I already do most days, but I want to continue. Now, that is what's part of the 75 soft challenge. Now, I do have weekly and monthly habits for the month of September, but those are separate. And those are just to keep up with my business. So uploading YouTube videos every week and then walks with my husband. That's just making sure that I'm making intentional time with my partner and then spending time with friends as well. That's important to me, but that's not part of my 75 soft. So I'll put everything that's part of the 75 soft challenge for me. And again, you can change these up if they do not pertain to you. So for example, like the reading every day or the journaling, you might change it for a different type of self-care activity. And that's kind of what I would assume would be the best thing. I think in the 75 soft challenge, like the original, it says read 10 pages. I do not like when we put a number in reading, because I just feel then that becomes not fun. So I like to just say read every day, right? However, that could be a page, that could be 3 chapters. Sometimes I'm in a mood to just read for hours. So yeah, that is the 75 soft challenge that I'll be doing for the month of September, starting September 9. And what I will be doing is, I was at first thinking of doing a Discord channel, but I think that would be super overwhelming on top of having to, focus on these habits. So instead, I am going to do a broadcast channel on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure that you do. That way you can be part of the broadcast channel where I'll just write how I'm doing. I also post on my IG stories, but sometimes I don't feel like not everybody wants to, focus on habits and things, and that's totally fine. So if you are interested, make sure that you sign up for the broadcast channel, and I'll put everything down in the link in the description, which is basically me just giving you guys updates about the 75 soft challenge. I will be doing a video on my first week of the 75 soft challenge. I always record a month in advance, so you won't be seeing that video probably until October. That's just what works best for me. But if you want to be the most up to date, then seeing my stuff on that broadcast channel on Instagram, which is basically just like a group chat, would be the best. So yeah, that is the 75 soft challenge. Like I said, I'll keep this stuff here so that you could take a screenshot and you can start with me on September 9th as the fall TBR list. These are the books that I'm so excited to read. Now, the very first one was actually a gift from my friend Denais. We both just had birthdays. So I had my birthday August 18th and she has her birthday in September. And so we decided to do a little blind date gift exchange. And I'm already halfway through the book. It's definitely a different book genre that I'm used to. It's kind of it's romancy. It's really witty. I'm really enjoying it. It's just very different. I'm always interested in thrillers and things like that, or very spicy romances. So this is very different, but I'm really enjoying it. I think that's such a great idea. If you have books that you've already read and you want to gift them to someone so they can enjoy them as well, I think that's a really great way to repurpose books and making sure that you're sharing the books. Unless you just like to keep them for your library, that's fine. But this is the first book. It's called The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. And yeah, I'm halfway through this. So this is part of my TBR. And then the next book, I usually use my Kindle for reading books. So I am just going to put the book cover since I don't usually read paperback. So the next book that I'm going to read is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I heard really good things about the book. And then it's The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. I believe that one is going to be a new release in October, so I'm excited to read them. So these are not in order. These are just kind of like the books I'm going to read, right? So it's called The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. Then it's Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. The Quarry Girls by Jess, and The Promise by Teresa Driscoll. And then The Last Party. Oh, I already read The Last Party. I just finished reading, but that was a really good spooky book. I really enjoyed it. Then it's The Cruel Prince by Holly Black that I want to read. I'm Watching You by Teresa Driscoll. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. The Wife Upstairs by Frida McFadden. And Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Those are all the books that I'm going to read for my fall TBR. So probably within the 75 days, trying to get through all of these books, which they are a lot. So I want to get through them during spooky season. Since some of them are there's some fantasy, there's just some like thrillers, there's some like a little bit of everything. Now, the next thing that I'm really looking forward is to watch fall and spooky movies. So those are movies that I'm kind of looking forward to either rewatching or watching for the first time. One of them is Little Women, the one with Timothée Chalamet. That's the Little Women version that I want to watch. And then You Got Mail. And then I want to watch When Harry Met Sally. These are all kind of fall-inspired movies. And then I want to watch the Scooby-Doo movie. I know there's a bunch, but I want to watch the first one. And then I want to watch Halloween Town 1 and 2. I'm not a big fan of the last Halloween Town 1. I think that's when they switched the actresses. So I just want to watch Halloween 1 and 2. And then Hocus Pocus, because that's just a ritual to watch Hocus Pocus during October. And then Practical Magic. Love that movie. And then I do want to do a Harry Potter movie marathon, which comment down below. Do you think Harry Potter is a like Halloween movie or is it a Christmas movie? Like the series, do you feel like it's a Christmas time movie or is it a Halloween type fall movie? I don't know. I feel like it could be both, but I want to watch a Harry Potter movie marathon. So those are all the things that I'm looking forward to doing for the month of September. This is the vision board that I did for the fall, just kind of what the vibe that I want like to embody in the months of fall. And that is just being able to read, bake, watch cozy shows, like I said, go on coffee dates with my partner, go on walks, visit a pumpkin patch, just like enjoy the fall fashion. Like those are all the things that I kind of wanted to embody in this specific like a vision board that I have for the fall. So I hope that this inspires you to make your own vision board, to make your own fall TBR, like books you want to read and movies you want to watch, and then some habits that you want to embody for the next couple of months. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you love videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video.